Welcome to the video on steps in the business analysis process. After watching this video, you will be able to discover the key steps involved in the business analysis process and identify the major tasks performed for each step within the process. The business analysis process typically follows a structured series of steps, each designed to ensure that the right solution is developed and implemented effectively. Understanding and following a structured business analysis process ensures that business needs are accurately identified and effectively addressed. In general, the business analysis process includes the following key steps. 1. Initiation and planning. 2. Requirements gathering and elicitation. 3. Requirements analysis and specification. 4. Solution design. 5. Implementation. 6. Solution evaluation. And 7. Closure. Let's explore each of these steps. Let's start with the initiation and planning step. In this step, the first task is to identify the business problem or opportunity. This involves understanding the current state of the business and defining the scope of the analysis. The next task is to identify and engage with stakeholders. This involves identifying the key stakeholders who are interested in the project and engaging them early in the process. Understanding their needs and expectations is crucial for the success of the analysis. Finally, you define objectives and scope. Business analysts should clearly define the objectives of the analysis and the scope of the project. This includes identifying the boundaries of the analysis and what is within or outside the scope. For the requirements gathering and elicitation step, the first task is to elicit requirements using various techniques to gather requirements from stakeholders. This could include interviews, workshops, surveys, and observations. Once the requirements are gathered, the business analysts document them in a structured format. This could be in the form of business requirement documents, or BRD, use cases, user stories, or functional specifications. Not all requirements are equally important, so the business analysts prioritize them based on factors like business value, urgency, feasibility, and resource availability. The requirements analysis and specification step includes 3 main tasks: analyze requirements, validate requirements, and model requirements. Business analysts analyze the requirements to ensure they align with business objectives. This involves identifying any gaps between the current state and the desired future state. Next, they validate the requirements with stakeholders to ensure they are complete, consistent, and feasible. This may involve feasibility analysis and impact assessment. For the model requirements, business analysts can use tools like process models, data flow diagrams, or entity relationship diagrams to model the requirements and visualize how the solution will work. The solution design step includes tasks to design the solution, align it with business objectives, and evaluate alternatives. Based on the analyzed requirements, business analysts design the solution. This could involve creating prototypes, mock-ups, or detailed design specifications. They need to ensure that the solution aligns with the business objectives and delivers value to the stakeholders. This may involve continuous feedback from stakeholders during the design process. They also consider different solution options and evaluate them based on criteria like cost, time, and impact. The idea is to choose the best option that meets the requirements. Next, let's analyze the tasks for the implementation step. Business analysts oversee the implementation of the solution by working closely with the development team to ensure that the solution is implemented according to the design. This involves continuous monitoring and providing guidance as needed. They implement change management strategies to ensure a smooth transition to the new solution. This includes training users and providing support during the transition. Business analysts also identify and manage risks associated with the implementation. This may involve developing contingency plans to address potential issues. Further, let's discuss the solution evaluation step. Once the solution is implemented, business analysts conduct testing to ensure it meets the requirements. This includes functional testing, user acceptance testing, and performance testing. Next, they validate the solution with stakeholders to ensure it delivers the expected outcomes and meets the business objectives. Business analysts evaluate the performance of the solution against the defined success criteria. This involves collecting feedback from stakeholders and measuring the impact on the business. The last step, closure, includes tasks for document learning, finalizing, documentation, and obtaining approval. Business analysts document the lessons learned during the project. This includes what worked well, what didn't, and any recommendations for future projects. They ensure that all documentation is up to date and accurate. This includes updating any process documentation, training material, and user guides. Finally, they obtain formal approval from stakeholders to close the project. This involves ensuring that all deliverables have been met and that stakeholders are satisfied with the outcome. To better understand how the business analysis process works in practice, let's explore a scenario in which these steps are applied. Let's consider an example where a manufacturing company aims to implement an inventory management system. As the initiation and planning step, the business analyst collaborates with company executives to outline the project's goals, such as reducing inventory costs and improving order accuracy. Next, the analyst conducts workshops and interviews with warehouse managers, procurement teams, and suppliers to gather detailed requirements. Further, the analyst analyzes the requirements to identify key features, address any conflicts, and prioritize tasks. A requirement specification document is created, including the functional and non-functional requirements for the system. For the solution design, the analyst works with the IT team to create the system's architecture, including databases and user interfaces. The development team builds the system, and the analyst ensures that the system meets the defined requirements and monitors the implementation process. After implementation, the analyst oversees testing to ensure the system meets requirements and collects feedback for adjustments. Once the inventory management system is fully operational and meets all objectives, a formal approval is obtained from stakeholders. In this video, you are familiarized with the key steps of the business analysis process. These steps are 1. Initiation and planning, 2. Requirements gathering and elicitation, 3. Requirements analysis and specification, 4. Solution design, 5. Implementation, 6. Solution evaluation, and 7. Closure.